we've arrived. Strong Barbell Company, Kansas City. I think we're in Missouri. I think we're still in Missouri. Know your states, everyone. We're gonna see what JP and them got is. They're starting to let businesses get back open, so I want to see a tour of their new gym and like what they've done now that they've moved. We got a chance a while back to go train at their first location, and then like the next day they had to move because the roof caved in. So I'll let JP show us.
Welcome, Strong Barbell Club in Kansas City. Best place in Kansas City to get strong, Mr. Brent. Oh, Ethan Herrick and I own the gym. Ethan's a really high level Olympic lifter. My background's powerlifting, of course, and so what our goal here is to do the best version of this that anybody has ever done. So everything that we do, all the decisions that we make, we're trying to be as legit as possible, but have a product that's like really incredibly relatable, wanting to be a part of, high in community, and then really high in quality. So that's what we want to get across. So the way that we built the gym was we have this big main room where we've got 10 different places to squat, 8 places to bench, 5 deadlift platforms, 6 Olympic lifting platforms in one. Everything's as high level as we can get, you know, 10 power bars, 6 squat bars, 6 deadlift bars. I think we have 53 bars in total. All the strongman equipment you need to be internationally competitive, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, etc. So that's our goal here, and that's how we make all the decisions for equipment and what we're gonna have in here. And so we've been here for 11 months so far, and I think we've gotten to do everything that we wanted to do so far. Finishing the floors, having all the infrastructure that we need to be as legit of a business as we can be for what we're trying to do. That's been, you know, kind of the thing that, you know, has been the learning curve, and I think that we've excelled at it pretty good. You know, we're a 160 person gym. We'll probably grow to around a 200 person gym. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got a code door right over here on the left. It's just one of those places where you can go and be free and do what you want to do if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, man.
So,
dude, I love it. Getting to see it kind of adapt from, you know, the first location you guys had.
So basically, we've tried to create an indoor-outdoor space where we don't have a ton of space inside where we can move, you know, athletically. It's more of, you know, being able to move for the sports that we're catering to. We have about a 40-foot run over there, but we have 50 feet of turf outside. Right now, the turf, since we've been on this coronavirus break, we came back, we had like lawn games and stuff. A lot of people just haven't been able to hang out with their friends. And it's important for us to, like, you know, get out of our houses and be normal. So like yesterday, I was doing a podcast on the phone, and I finished the interview at 9 o'clock, and I walked out back, and the folks that were allowed to be at the gym at the time, they were out there all 6 feet apart finishing a bottle of tequila together. Attaboy. And I killed it. So so what we're trying to do is happening, and it feels good to see it in the ways that you had thought that it was going to be done. That's a lot of fun for me.
Here's a piece of equipment for you. The Rogue mono attachments.
So,
what's your thoughts on those?
I love the Rogue mono attachments. So, you know, as far as bench press goes, I've handed off 600 and bench 600 by myself. But with those, like, it's zero work. So I'll take side spotters or a back spotter, but I'll have no lift off with those. So I like them for bench. I've never really squatted with them. I don't know that I would like that much, but squatting's only 2 steps, so I always walk it out. Yeah. With the bench press though, I'm an adult.
You respect yourself as a lifter.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
straight from a mono, why do I want any extra work?
Yeah, I mean, I've used the mono, but I've always like shit on it and walked out, you know? I love the Rogue hooks because I use them for bench press like literally every week, so. Incline's great for them. It gets a little dicey with an axle.
Fuck, that's a valid point, because I use
Cadillac bar's tough.
I've got the jammer arms on the front of my rack. It essentially works the same way. You can kind of drift out with them like an auto squat, press out.
Absolutely. You know, when you're using those, if you use an axle or a Cadillac bar, you maybe need to be a little careful because the diameter's big, but other than that, like, they're super easy to use once you get used to them.
Yeah.
We can't grow bigger by a lot, like we can't have a lot of machines, so we try to make what we have better. So, you know, by having mono arms or having a dip attachment or having front arms so you can have a rack for people to do overhead if they're tall, things like that can make our space better. So new bars can make our space better. So like we have basically all of Chris's bars, You know, we have all the competition bars. And
so nice.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't get your teeth knocked out by this thing when you're getting up, it's a very, very nice bar. I felt the air one time.
Ooh, a little close.
Though it was the second closest call I've ever had. One time I was doing presses with the yoke overhead, and I was doing like 365, 385, and I dropped it, and I felt the wind off the yoke come and hit my teeth, you know? And I was like, that's the closest call I've ever had.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, aside from like seeing people like dump weight being in multiply, those are like some of the diciest for me. I haven't had too many close calls in the gym.
I never had a multiply dump that got sketchy. I got caught benching one time. That's a pretty epic fail.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to find, Brant.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, I have one where we were doing bench press and we were in like, first off, I don't like hammer strength equipment. Like it's typically not very adjustable for what you want. It's like the-
It's also narrow.
Yeah, it's like the very cheapest version of anything that anybody could get compared to a Sornex, right? So anyway, I was using a hammer thing at the last place we were at, and the safeties were on. Well, I never use them, but they were on. I never would have put them up, Ryan did,
yeah.
But we never use them. And I hopped in and started benching later, and we were using bands and chains, and I think I had 600 pounds at the top, and I was smoking a rep on it, and I get to here and it goes, and it rolled out of my hands and just boom, right on me. And so my chest took about 3 inches, and then it hit the racks. Saved me. And the bands and everything, like 3 people had to lift it off me. It was, and so I was mad. And I got the rep 5 minutes later. Nice. so I had to come back and get it. I couldn't just like get my shit kicked in that day and not get it back.
My fail is so embarrassing. It's like I've got a slingshot on and like elbow sleeves, and was benching prior to going to Mark's for the meet.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I was trying to bench 440 at the meet, so I think it was like 410 or something like that, and I was just gonna take for max reps.
Right.
Smash the 4th one and go for the 5th one, and it just, the brakes fucking hit. And so like, you see me go to press it, and then you can hear me on the video go, oh no! And like, it just goes this way. And so now I've got like these big sleeves on and a slingshot, and I'm stuck.
Can't go
there's
anywhere.
no one home, and so dump some weight, get out of it.
Yeah, you never bench with collars.
No, and then I've got this stupid slingshot and everything attached, so it's like I'm trying to get one side up to get under it. It's like 40 seconds of me trying to get out from under this bar.
Never graceful.
No, it's so embarrassing, just my stupid legs kicking around.
The worst is like when Joe had that bar bend over him. That was the worst.
What
I've never seen anything like that. He said he was traveling and he was at a CrossFit gym and was like, hey, do you guys have a power bar? And they were like, this one should work. And he started squatting 700 pounds and he goes from here to here and the bar just goes,
Yeah, to the point that like he couldn't get it back in the rack at all.
Yeah, he got it in one side and then peeled out.
You could just see him like frustrated.
He was hurt.
Of, like, I don't know how to get away from this safely.
So it pinned his arms to his side.
Yeah.
And then he got one in the hook and then was able to escape. That was nuts. He said he was hurt from that for a while.
I fucking bet.
Yeah. You know, the way that we try to set things up is if anybody's ever trying to design their gym, I like to go from high to low, outside to in, and then that connects the room from all corners when you're on the ground with each other, because it's not too far away. So you can be connected to people over there, and then you can also be connected to people over there, and there's just nothing that interrupts that.
Oh, interesting.
So, you know, I'm trying to build it without any walls, you know, and trying to make it so that it's connected from one area to the other. And so this is kind of our main room. So when we came in here and we got this building, we installed big fans. You know, we don't typically run any AC in here at all. So we got big fans. We rotate everything through airwise. We got big fans in the doors. Because it gets hot in here in the summer. It ain't Louisiana, but it's warm. Little things that we've tried to do. We've, totally gutted the bathrooms and redone them. We put mirrors up over the break because we want to get skinny and sexy, right? You and I.
It's true.
And so
apparently I have to get better at that.
apparently, from what the scale said, you got to lay it easy on the
scales off.
on the Papa John's and the Insomnia cookies.
You eating those pizza and a half I ate last night maybe didn't fare well?
Matt was over 250 today. It's good for bench.
I think everyone who gets on the scale just says 250.
I think so. That's probably, I hope it does when I get on it. Might say 350 for me.
Oh, damn, children.
So just trying to do everything at the highest level. Like I said, like we had a shitty drinking fountain, so we put in a water purifier. And if you don't look at what those things are or what they do, like I feel like when I walk into a lot of powerlifting gyms, I just get this feeling like people aren't trying and they're using it as an excuse to be
gross,
lackadaisical.
Oh, for sure.
And
right?
gross, yeah.
It's definitely an excuse of like, well, it's supposed to be grimy in a dungeon.
Yeah, they say that, and ours is too, to a point.
To a point.
But it's supposed to be like the best version of that. Like when we were having this coronavirus stuff come out, I've been mopping these for a year, and I found out that just mopping's not good. It doesn't work, compared to what a machine can do. So we spent $2,700 on a cleaning machine. Yeah. So if anybody ever, I get the question all the time, like, hey, what does it take to open a gym? And I'm like, well, more people have to know you than they do. Two, you have to spend your first $10,000 on flooring and cleaning. Like
more people to have to know you?
You have to be popular.
Okay.
Like it's hard to open a gym if nobody knows you.
Yeah, that's any business in this.
It is.
Right?
It is.
There is some bit of influence that you need to have that why people would be interested to
just enough.
Place.
Yeah, and then because in Kansas City there wasn't a powerlifting gym, and now that there is one, and it's one of those things where there's a couple other little ones too. It's like, well, do they know you're there? Do you want to pay for advertising? Well, if you pay for advertising, you're going to get clients that you may not want.
Right.
And, by people knowing we're here and knowing, what the gym is before they come or what to do. It's one of those things where it's like, the first thing you need to do is build infrastructure. You need to know people. You have to have a following, an audience, a need. So that way, when we opened up our second week, there was 84 members. So we knew there was a need, and we knew that we could start being successful right away or we wouldn't have done it.
You hear
and that made it easy.
This is the place.
If you want to get strong, you got to come here. That's
it's in the name of the gym.
Yeah, Strong Barbell Club. Yeah. We're at like 160 members. I think we'll grow to about 200, and then it'll probably be a one in, one out kind of system.
Sign up quick. Otherwise you'll be on a waiting list.
Nothing's better than selling out, right?
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than when you're
emotionally.
Yeah, that too. Only products. Only products.
Yeah.
Having an opportunity to do things bigger and better. I think what I've seen from people who are having issues right now and money issues is we don't rely on the gym income. Like we relied on other incomes so that we could start the gym, and then later down the road, if we did a good enough job, we can rely on the gym income. But putting all your eggs in that one basket, I think, is really problematic for a lot of gym owners.
And same thing I tell people that reach out to me about wanting to do apparel or anything like that. It's very much a like.
When you did apparel, you didn't need money from apparel.
No.
When you started.
For years.
Yeah, for like the first 4 years or 3 years or whatever. Yeah. And that was the best way that you could do that because you didn't have to have risk.
Yeah, and I started with a following.
Yes.
Not much of one.
And then it grew,
At that time it was.
Right, and now I'm kind of in that weird category too now where we're post-sports, but we're still being relevant.
Yeah.
And how do you be relevant? Like I posted something about weight loss yesterday. Like I didn't know that was my way to be relevant yesterday.
Weird, right?
I didn't know that was what was going to relate to people yesterday, but it's what I was feeling. And so if you're generating some authentic shit, then people are going to probably try to feel that, and then our members feel that too when they're here. So we have a lot of authentic stuff that happens here every day that they get to be a part of. Well, that's what everybody wants. They're trying to chase that authenticity and trying to find it, and like it's kind of interesting to be on the back end of competing and finding it, and how I'm going to connect other people.
Sure.
It's kind of fun.
What else you got in here?
It's really neat because we try to, some gyms might be a USAPL gym or a USPA gym or whatever, and we don't give a shit about any of that. We want everybody to have a place to be able to be and call home. If you have the resources for that, then do it. So like, for example, I think we're the only gym in town with 2 mono lifts. We've got 3 power cages, 2 from Rogue, 1 from Elite FTS. I want to support all the companies. We've got 2 ER racks from Denmark. We've got 2 Elite FTS combo racks. We've got 5 sets of kilos. So we want everybody here to be as snobby as they want, but also, be able to train for their sport in the way that they're able to train for it. So if we're gonna have deadlift bars, we're gonna have Texas deadlift bars, we'll have Ohio deadlift bars. If we're gonna have power bars, we'll have Texas power bars, we'll have Ohio power bars. We have Rogue weightlifting bars.
Well, there's so much now that, you're gonna see both in competition. So
totally.
At least you have the ability to train on what you're going to do.
Absolutely. So that's why there's tons of squat bars, tons of power bars. But then we also try to get variety. So we have the Kabuki transformer bar, which I love. We've got 2 of the Elite FTS SSBs. Any of my people that own home gyms, the second thing I ask them to get is an SSB.
Dude, it's an incredible.
And if anybody's not a power lifter, they should only ever squat on one. There's no reason to ever use a straight bar in your life. If I was a football coach, that's all we would use.
Dude, I'm almost to the point now. I don't see any reason why I would ever squat with a bar and not with a belt squat at this point. For where I'm at.
For where you're at, yeah.
Injuries or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the muscle you want to use, you know. I want people to be able to come in here and be able to get their workout in, and you know, you may have to be creative because there's less machines, but there's so many ways to be effective with this kind of equipment. So the monos are here. We've got chains for everybody if they're doing chained work, you know, even all the way down to doing bamboo bars. You know, boxes for box squatting, boxes for jumping, you know, extra belts, extra bands. You know, I just really don't think that there's a lot of powerlifting things or Olympic lifting or strongman things that you can't do here.
No.
You know, except maybe like power stairs, but we can still do that with boxes and weights.
Right.
We also have all the strongman equipment too.
I mean, how often do we see a power stair in a strongman competition? I mean, most of those guys, if they're getting to see a power stair,
yeah,
because it's just such a big apparatus, most events don't have.
Not many people have it, yeah.
I mean,
so,
the guys that are going to see those are the dudes going to the world,
right?
And they're not training power stairs.
So where we're at's kind of cool too. So I guess I could go over that. So we're literally right over the river from downtown. So downtown Kansas City, I mean, I could throw a football there right now, Uncle Rico style, but throw a football over that river. The city is so close to us. We used to be 15 minutes north of here. And so to be like right next to downtown is really, really cool for us because we were able to open ourselves to so many more people. I live up north and the following of the gym is mostly more south. So it was like trying to get closer to those folks. And then down the road, if we ever opened up a second location, that's probably how we would have to do it, north and south.
You're saying opening a gym in a location where people are is important.
That's a good deal.
Weird.
yeah. Opening a gym where people are is a big deal.
Don't make it super inconvenient for them just to come to
We
you.
do have a lot of people that drive 45 minutes to come here, but it's because we don't want to be that far.
This is what we've accomplished with 9 for 9.
Yes.
I was like, well, I would kind of want them.
Next to a cornfield is like pretty prime real estate. So being close to Kansas City is like super cool for us. We're actually in Northtown, which is an isolated city just north of Kansas City.
Are you technically Missouri?
We're technically Missouri, absolutely. We're right next to Kansas. So cheaper gas, cheaper booze, cheaper smokes.
Nice.
It's a happy state. It's a happy state.
Do you sell them across?
Huh?
Do you try to sell them across?
We should. We should have a pro shop in there with that. Dude, you can get a tank top, you can get a meat shirt, and you can get a pack of Newports. You know?
JP's duty-free gift shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we give away booze. I've been missing an opportunity.
Oh man.
So we don't really host any meets here. We usually rent out a gym down the street to do that because it's 24,000 square feet. We're going to do one USAPL meet here, but we have to be creative with how we structure that. So
is it nationals?
No, it would be if that even happens. It would definitely be local. I don't know. Apparently everybody. So with the qualifying totals they have at nationals this year, we'll just line everybody out to the street and we'll just take them one at a time. I don't know. They don't have qualifying totals anymore. Yeah, I guess since you lose 4 months to compete, I guess you have to lose the qualifying total.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they were already pretty low anyway. So I thought it was already you could just walk in and compete. I didn't know you had to have a total.
It's a nationals. It should be harder to get in.
Yeah, I mean, some of the national competitions are harder than others, but it's just a weird year for it. So basically, nobody tries to qualify for nationals from nationals until the new year. So you miss 3 months. So that's 3 months of the year, and then this is 4 months of the year that this is affecting planned events. So that's literally 7 months out of the year that people can't compete out of a 12-month year to qualify for nationals. So it makes sense that they don't have a qualifying total, but it's still weird, you know, like it's going to be a weird year in a lot of ways.
I mean, very easily could just say like, was your total at last year's nationals over this amount?
Right.
You're in.
You're in. I mean, or they could have like given you like a 10% gym total courtesy or something. I don't know. Like, do them online. Do them online. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the main part of the gym, man. We don't really do classes or anything here. I do personal training. I do programming here with athletes, and really the athletes here that do programming get the best deal because they get somebody like Ethan, Evan, Ryan, or me, and they get to do it for $100 a month instead of $150 a month, and they can do it on the best equipment that we can provide. So working with people one-on-one in that way is definitely my favorite thing about being here.
What's your favorite piece in the gym?
Ooh, well, I mean, I can't use that many of them right now.
Well,
so
no, this is what I'm saying.
Probably the mono hooks.
Tons, so like what now?
Probably the mono hooks.
The mono hooks.
I mean, all I really ever use is like a barbell, some weights, and like, you know, the cable machine. I don't use that much of the equipment anymore. I like dragging the sled backwards I could do that for 20 minutes a day, dragging the sled backwards.
Okay.
Stuart McGill loves that for legs when you have low back problems. I like dragging the sled. I like benching of any kind, dumbbell work of any kind. I'm in a point right now where I have to stay out of extension. It's a lot of floor pressing for me, a lot of dumbbell work for me, a lot of barbell work for me, and then a lot of cable work.
Speaking of cable work, let's go see your bro land.
Yeah, absolutely. Bro land kind of starts at the mirrors. So the way the layout of the gym works is we've got like a pretty good storefront as far as the area that we're in. We're in kind of an industrial area, but there's also a lot of traffic and storefronts. So we've got a cool storefront out front. We've got offices on one side of the gym on the other side. And then you can come in these doors during the day, and then we have our 24-hour door in the back with our parking lot in the back. So we have a 16 space lot out back, and that's where people get in and out. Can I help you?
Yes, sir. I got 2 cars out front here. I need to be moved, please.
Okay, for what?
We're going to grind out the stumps in these tree wells so I can plant new trees.
Okay. The city's a pain in the dick. Oh, they like never give notice for anything.
Got your cardio?
So the people that come here, like they're typically wanting to do their cardio outside if they can. Like we have sleds, yokes, whatever they got outside they can use. Anything can go indoor, outdoor. But indoors we do a lot of interval training and stuff on the assault bike, the rowers, ski erg. We have a little treadmill over in the corner. This is also our area where we've got all our dumbbells. We go up to 100 pounds on kettlebells, 120 pounds on dumbbells. That's kind of some of the harder things to buy initially. It's like, to get a set of 200-pound dumbbells is not cheap. So 400 pounds of dumbbell weight is like a good $1,000 to spend at least. So it's nuts for cheap shit too. So
right, and then they don't get used though.
yeah, and then here, I mean, we want to have 130s, 150s, 180s, 200, but it just doesn't make sense to go up there until you like find a good deal on them or whatever. I don't need to just buy equipment for me,
Right.
But here at least, like there's probably 10 people that could do rows with 200s.
Yep.
There's probably 5 to 10 people that are doing dumbbells at 150s and
ones, it's not the same.
yeah, and so, I mean, I'd love to get some, but, you just got to find the right time to do that. It was great, though. I mean, I was out at a gym in Las Vegas, and they had 200s. I was able to do some dumbbell bench. And
Haffy in Iceland, his gym has got
they're huge.
well,
His are the Watsons. Those are expensive.
Are they?
I think so.
The ones
Does he have the spinning handle ones?
No.
Okay.
The ones that he's got in there, like they're knurled and they're machined, and they go up to 100 kilos.
Yeah, I think his are from Watson in England. That's who's done Sebastian Orb's gym. So okay. They're all Watson, and like that set, we had priced out a set at the old gym I worked at, and it would have been to 150s, 25 grand was I think the down payment. I think they were 40 grand. I think they were either 20 or 40 and he paid half.
For resistance, for fake work.
Yeah, they're all machined and they're like all put together really specially, and they're intense.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's crazy how you do that, right? So they're press fit. And so the way it works is you would take the bell and you heat it because it expands.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're talking about expands.
Right.
A sea hair.
Right.
Cat hair.
Cat hair. Ollie.
Expands a cat hair, and then you take the handle and you freeze it. Because it will shrink. Just enough. Pop them together and let them come back to room temperature, and they never come apart.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that with like really fine tolerance machine parts.
Yeah.
They'll just press fit, and that's how they do them.
Yeah, well, so they must be doing it at one of the highest levels possible.
Yeah.
So they just redid all the bathrooms, did everything for us as far as like making custom counters and everything. And then this room, we don't talk about the accessory room a ton, but it actually ends up getting like used way more than you would have ever thought because it's so useful. And it's not a pretty room, like we need to definitely dress it up a little bit. And it's got these weird shelves in it from whoever was here before. They were like, can we take them down? And I was like, well, what are we gonna do up there?
Right.
Well, you can put something there? What if it looks like shit? I don't know. I mean, it sounds like more of a problem than, like to take them down.
Honestly, we keep the shelves.
Yeah.
Just a weird story.
Right. So this is our cleaner. That's the star of the show, really, Clark right there.
Gotta get rid of that E.
Yeah, I know. It'd be way better. Maybe I should put on the bottom Griswold.
Ooh,
That'd be good.
I'll get you a sticker made.
Clark Griswold.
Text Phil.
And then
JP at Griswold.
I'm trying to make stickers right now. And then I put up our Centos First Aid Center because we use that every fucking day. A lot of Band-Aids here. So Smith machine cables, lat pull down. We've got some old shit from Franco Colombo. Just kidding. No, those just moved so well we kept them. We actually bought a whole gym and those are a couple of the old pieces we kept. You know, if you're not using your calf raise for a Viking press, then you're fucking missing out. What else? Hey, Gary Frank would be proud. There's 500 pounds on this stack. All you do is adjust the height, and then you got a Viking press.
That looks like a no rep.
You got a Viking press.
Yeah, they'll call you a no rep.
You guys want to talk some shit? We can get heavy. Maybe 480 if the pen won't go in. All right, Brant, you ready for it? Got 500 pound calf raise Viking press. It's a good machine.
Just to prove it.
Get it.
Jerk under it.
Hey, all you gotta do is lift it 3 inches as long as you can move 10.
Right, that's what my plan was. It just didn't, I don't bend good anymore.
You're about to go full Rob on that, Rob Carney. Reverse hyper, back attack. I mean, there's a couple gyms in the city that have a reverse hyper, like if I worked there before. But nobody else has one of these. You find shit like this in the weirdest ways. I had a guy, literally the guy called me and was like, hey, I called Louis in 2006 and ordered this on the phone from Westside when Sorinex made equipment for them. It was sitting in a rental property for 5 years and that got touched. And he's like, do you want it? I was like, yes.
Yeah, they're a cool piece.
It's a cool piece and I don't like to have clients, especially intermediate ones, doing good mornings. This is a good way to get posterior chain work in for them.
That makes sense.
And it's a little bit of a no-brainer once you learn how to use it. So leg extension, leg curl. We've got GHR back raise, belt squat from Matt Winning, and leg press. And then we put in all these shelves because I think one thing that's really hard about powerlifting gyms and strongman gyms for people is sometimes it doesn't feel accessible to every level. What's cool is like, let's say your mom lived in town, you could say, hey mom, you can go lift with JP. Like your mom could be a powerlifter, right?
Sure.
If she wanted to be, you know, and if she saw working with me as something that was really good for her. What's cool is you never know who that's good for, so you have to have it available to everybody. So when we have sandbags here, we go 50 to 315. When we have kegs outside, we go 30 to 275. When we have stones, we go 60 to 350. Nice. So literally every implement is for every level of strength athlete, even if they're a brand new beginner.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So that's how we try to structure things, and then this just keeps all our extra stuff. We've got probably 80 pairs of knee wraps in here, and we've got all the different shoulder savers and slingshots in every size from Mark because he supports it really, really well. Bet your ass I bought one of these. Arm blaster. Hey. It's the only kind of blasting I do besides finger blasting.
Oh my God. That's
sorry.
Impressive, JP. You got a lounge?
Yes. So this is the lounge. So when we initially came here, it was kind of an emergency, and then we ended up with this giant office that we don't really need. There's literally 7 rooms in here, and we need about 3. But the cool part about it is it gave us a lot that we didn't have before. So when you walk in, we'll see the store on the left, we have the sauna room on the right, and then we'll go into the main lounge area in the offices. So the members of the gym can use the lounge whenever they want. You know, we've got people that get ready here in the morning for work, they'll heat up their food, they'll take a shower, go ahead and hop in. We've got a monster fridge where, oh, white monster, you got white girl. There's waters and Gatorades and stuff, protein, monsters, Reigns, free beer on bottom if you're 21. We always check IDs here.
Keep a couple
and
down there for
champagne of beers.
Yes.
Like I've got members that are so cool. Like one of the guys is like, hey, can I bring a case of beer when we open up? So, you know, if anybody wants any. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. We got shirts and tank tops and shaker bottles. So this is our little store. You know, what's cool about being a small private gym is that it's easy to like trust everybody if you know everybody. So everybody's cards are on file, and if they want something, they just take it and write it down. And then they get charged once a week, and this is our lounge area. So typically in here, like we're watching Chiefs games, like I'll come up here on Saturday and watch the UFC fights. You know, we just try to make it a community area. So if something's going on, if we're watching Westside Bristol World, if we're watching Thor Deadlift, we'll just throw it on here and everybody can come in and watch. You know, I've offered for young kids to have graduation parties here, or birthday parties, or we've had surprise step parties here for people. And it's just an area where people can use it if they want, because we just have this bonus room of the gym, you know? So my office is in the corner. We've got a room for kids. I've got 5 and 8-year-old kids. If anybody has a kid that wants to come in here and chill while they work out, that's not something parents should have to pay a bunch of extra money for. You know, they should be able to come and just drop them in there and hang out, because it's an area that I don't have to pay any money for either. So it's just a little easy thing. They can do it, you know, just one kid at a time as long as they're old enough to hang out. This is our treatment room. So I've had back issues for a while, and it was important for me to have an area where you can go and try to get better. So I put a wrestling mat in here, a treatment table, our scales in here. So anybody that has to weigh in for their events, we've always got a calibrated scale. And then we've also put a sauna in here. It's a 1 to 2 person sauna. So 1 of me, 2 of Brant.
Yeah. It's like the one we have at home.
Absolutely.
It's like one of, I can fit comfortably, Bonnie and I can fit in, or 2 girls are very comfortable.
Exactly. My office, and then back in this area, we've got our own kitchen, and we've got a shower room and an extra bathroom. So being a small gym, it's nice to have 3 bathrooms and a shower. It's we really lucked into our space in that way. The bathrooms, like I said, just got redone. So we've got a brand new big shower in here that takes up the whole back wall. And then in here, they made like big custom cabinets. And you know, we've even got it so far. We've even got it whittled down so far in here that we've got like a hot tool caddy for girls to get ready for work.
Hot tool.
You know, that was one of Ethan's wife's add-ons. You know what the best part is now when you shut the door, there's a mirror on the back of it, so you get to watch yourself shit with the "You Are Strong" words above your head. It's pretty awesome.
Dude.
Oh, and free beer from Stone Cold. That's the bottom line.
A mirror to see yourself shit's such a weird thing.
It's a weird thing, especially with the cutout in the middle.
It's got one of those, and I'm just like, you're a piece of shit. You just never look at yourself good about it.
I'm just like, there's no way to make this feel great. So you know what feels really violent about the new bathrooms is this: the ceiling vent fans are so loud that I don't feel welcome in there anymore. Like I can't be in there 30 minutes anymore. It's like 5. Yeah, I need to just turn it off.
Yeah, bring a headlight.
There needs to be an option. So the other owner of the gym's Ethan Herrick. He's a national champion weightlifter. You know, Nate Damron's a world team member, and Shakesha Johnson is an American record holder and American champion multi-times. So we've got some really, really great weightlifters here. So it was really important for us to have a really, really good weightlifting area. So at first we started out with 2 independent platforms, but with spacing in between those, they take up so much room, we developed this like a more long, seamless platform, kind of like what you see on the floor at some other gyms. Like I know like Steffi and Hayden have a really nice one, I believe, or a nice few of them. And so we tried to put a nice 6 platform space in here for people to learn Olympic lifting. There's 3 sets of kilos, there's 15-pound training bars, 35-pound women's bars, and 20-kilo men's bars. All those are in here. Olympic weightlifting's pretty well outfitted for that. Cheyenne's over here learning how to lift weights. You've been doing it for what, 3 months, 4 months? Cool.
Nice.
And so it's kind of cool because if you get, Cheyenne's a power lifter too. When you're doing powerlifting for a long time and you want to try something different, okay, cool, do a strongman show, do powerlifting, do a weightlifting show, do whatever. We support all 3 of those here, so you can do all 3 of them as excellently as you feel like. You want to do outside? We wanted boards, and they're actually making them with our logos.
That's terrible.
Not bad.
Terrible. Use patrol.
So we've got turf outside. This is all turf that used to be in like a local college or high school football field, and you can get hooked up with people that buy and resell turf that they've used before, and it's in great quality. And we just laid it out here on the parking lot so we could create more indoor-outdoor space. We've got 3 garage doors that come out back. They're usually up if the weather's half-ass nice. Mirror out here if Matt's wearing a Speedo. And we put games out here today because for this week when people are coming back, some people just want to come and screw around and be with their friends. You know, this turf space for sled dragging, tire flipping, we've got a car deadlift out here right now for keg loading and all the kinds of stuff, farmers carries, whatever. All that stuff's indoor outdoor so people can move indoor outdoor whenever they're here. And actually that's how we kind of help doing our spacing for coronavirus stuff is people can warm up out here and then go inside, like, because we have a 2-hour rotation set up. So people come every 2 hours and they can warm up out here or in the office, and then they can rotate into the gym and rotate out, and they can finish out here as well. It's kind of how we've got that maneuvered. I just made those out of tire tubes to make Bulgarian bags. Yeah.
Bulgarian bags are rough.
They're like 40 pounds. But they're expensive, so I was like, oh, let's get these.
Yeah, they're also real fucking hard.
They're hard.
Kick the shit out of you.
They're very hard. Good for your freaking rotation. I need those.
That's it.
That's it.
Beautiful gym.
Yeah. I like it.
This is JP's gym. Super excited. I noticed you guys really enjoyed the gym tour that we did with Windler, as expected. I want to do more gym tours. I want to show off some of the rad independent owned gyms that we get to travel around and see around the country. And this is the first one that we've got a chance that's back open up, and I love JP. and he runs a great gym. Come to Kansas City, hang out.
Strong Barbell Club, North Kansas City, Missouri.
Spread hate, always party.